Welcome to the AI Hustle podcast. Today on the show, we are talking about some drama in the industry, which is Anthropic's Fable 5 model. We'll break down kind of what has happened, why, and what I think will be some implications, what we can expect in AI if you're using AI to grow and scale your business right now, some things you should be aware of, and I'll give you a hilarious story that happened to me in regards to all of this. There's a lot. Before we get into everything going on with this, I wanted to mention that Jamie and I are starting a brand new thing that we have never done before. Every single week, Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern time, we are going to live stream a bonus piece of content in our school community, and that's actually available for free to anyone. So if you want to get a weekly video for free, you could go catch the live stream. We also have a free tier of our AI Hustle School community, which we've never done before either. So there'll be 5 free videos you can get access to. If you want to get access to the full library of like 100 videos that we've recorded, how we grow and scale our businesses using AI tools, we give you the inside breakdown. We show you the revenue numbers. This week, Jamie broke down how he built an entire AI email outreach campaign tool. That's $19 a month. You get access to like 100 different videos of us breaking down how to grow and scale your business, but you get 5 for free right now, and you get access to all of the live streams, which we'll be doing every single week at 9 a.m. So there's a link in the description to the AI Hustle School community. We would love to have you as a member. We have over 300 incredible members. Everyone's sharing what they're building and working on, so it's a great community to be a part of. Okay, let's talk about what's going on with Fable 5 from Anthropic. Jamie, did you try Fable 5 because it launched and everyone was like hyping it up like it was the most incredible thing ever, and then it got banned and it's gone and we don't have access to it anymore? Did you try it in the meantime?
I did try it. I did, and I was very excited about it because I also throughout the same time, Claude had promoted that you could get double the token usage through a certain date. So I was like, let's go. We got and the Fable was only supposed to be available in the tier I was in, which is Claude Max, until June 22nd. So I was like, okay, I got like a solid 10 days. I'm gonna use Fable as much as I can in that time, burn through credits. I set up I think 4 different automations with Cowork using Fable, and I was super excited about it. But then the ban happened, and then now my automations don't run anymore. And I tried to switch the model back to Opus, and it won't let me. So I had to like remake them with Opus.
Oh, that's horrible. I never thought about that.
That was a huge bummer to me. Yeah, but did you have anything like that happen to you?
Okay, I actually had a great experience because I have 2 Claude Max accounts. Don't judge me, but I've got a bunch of big projects that I'm trying to build out. I also have a brand new baby. And you'd think this is probably the time to scale back on the Claude usage when the baby comes, which I'm usually all for like less work, take time for the baby, except that the baby is awake for like 4 hours at night and has to be rocked. And so I take him and try to rock him to let my wife get some sleep. And in the meantime, I'm bouncing on a yoga ball, and one of my hands is Claude coding. So I'm really putting and you give Claude code like a job, and it works on it for 30 minutes. And so anyways, I am burning through a lot of tokens. When Claude Fable came out, Fable 5 came out, I actually had both of my accounts in 2 days. I burnt through all of the tokens on 2 of my accounts. And I was like, oh man, this kind of sucks. Do I have to go buy another account for more usage? Because I really have a lot of time on my hands right now. And then it got banned and it got reset. And so now I've been a little bit more careful. And my reset from the reset was like halfway through the week. So anyways, I've now used up all the tokens on the 2 accounts again, and my weekly reset happened, and now I'm going to try to be a little bit more smart with how I use all my tokens. But the one thing I'll say about Fable 5 is they gave you 2 extra tokens, but it also used 2 times as many tokens as Opus 4.8. So like, oh yeah. So it basically, they were just trying to level it out because you were really burning through a lot. It could do a lot of cool things. I don't know if I was really putting it through. If I had known it was going to get banned, I would have given it like much harder tasks and like auditing code bases and fixing like big crazy stuff. I was just like, well, I can just do my projects smarter and faster. And I had like some big writing projects where I had to write a lot of stuff. A couple interesting things that I was seeing though in the headlines about that product in particular is there's an article that said Anthropic's Claude Fable 5 refuses basic biology questions by design. Anthropic told The Verge that the guardrails are, quote, overly conservative to block bioweapon queries, routing routine biology asks to Opus 4.8. So that is pretty crazy. If you have like a biology question, Fable 5, when they had it, wasn't answering. It was shooting them over to Opus 4.58. And also, security researchers said that Fable was blocking even routine code reviews. So they said Fable's keyword triggered guardrails rejected benign security work, falling back to Claude Opus 4.8 whenever cybersecurity surfaces in a prompt, which is like actually pretty common. I don't know if you do this, Jamie, but like all the time when I'm developing a new project, I'm like, hey, can you do like a security audit on this thing? Because inevitably when you vibe code something, it's like some sort of database is like has a thing that's open and you can see the data and like something weird gets triggered somewhere. Like, and so anyways, I have it do security audits for me, Opus 4.8 usually, and it will go tell me everything and then go fix it. But I mean, technically I could go and point it at like an open source project and be like, do a security review, and then me try to like figure out how to hack it or do something bad. And that's what they're kind of worried about here.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many vulnerabilities, especially with all these people who are vibe coding. If you have a website, and all the code, the back end code, they can pull your email from that. They can pull, the website builder, what you built it on. And I feel like beyond my even comprehension, I'm sure there's lots of nefarious things you could do with Fable, which is why apparently they banned it. So I don't know what to think about this because I understand the security concerns and everything, but I don't like that the government necessarily decided that, and at this point, I feel like, is it too late anyways, for a lot of this stuff? And the regulation thing, I think is definitely a worthy discussion, but I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. What are your thoughts on the security side of things?
I read a really interesting thread from David Sachs. I'm trying to pull it up on Twitter. I'm not sure if I'm seeing it anymore. But basically what he said was that from his understanding, and I don't know who's right about anything, but he said that he talked to some people in the administration because, he used to be in charge of, he used to be the AI czar for America or whatever. But he said he talked to some people in the administration that basically said, okay, well, actually, the reason this whole thing got triggered was because there was a security review from Amazon, a security paper. So this wasn't like, I don't know, some random person or even the government per se just went out to go ban it. Because I think we all know the White House and Anthropic have like a bad relationship. I saw a post from the Pete Hegseth, like the Secretary of Defense or whatever, and he was like, we got rid of Anthropic from our bidding system and it's becoming more and more apparent why that was a good idea every month or whatever. So obviously after the Fable 5 ban thing came out, so obviously there's plenty of beef in the government. And so a lot of people want to say like, hey, it's just like a retaliatory thing. But however, I will say that it looks like Amazon was actually the reason why it got banned. They went and apparently, because Fable 5 was Mythos, which was like the big scary model, but they had guardrails on it, right? So like we put guardrails, so now everyone can use it. But apparently Amazon figured out a way to to get around the guardrails, to jailbreak the guardrails. And they're like, hey, you should fix this. And apparently, according to David Sachs, Anthropic said, no, we don't need to fix that because it's not that big of a deal or something. And then Amazon went and briefed like the treasury secretary and was like, hey, this is really bad for finance for some reason. And then the US banned it. So I agree with you. I don't really like the government getting into any of this stuff, but I will say like Amazon was the one that started it. So it wasn't just a direct governmental ban. I mean, according to this, this security research paper. Now, could Amazon have a competing product? And this is a good way for them to say that Anthropic is dangerous. And then now all of a sudden we're going to have it. If anyone tries to come up with a new AI model, the big Microsoft, Google, Amazons are going to come up with a security research paper why you're unsafe, send it to the government and get you banned. Yeah, that's a pretty good strategy too. So I will be curious to see what happens there. But anyways, that's kind of why it originally rolled out. Am I annoyed? Yes, I'm very annoyed.
But I mean, at the same time, like the security concern is real, and and people also don't trust the government either. So, I remember back when OpenAI, I'm trying to think, they signed the contracts with the government for all the like defense stuff, and then that basically made people revolt, and that's around the same time that Claude really started to take off in Anthropic. So I think it does swing things quite a bit, and I think you might be onto something there with potentially, I don't know, Amazon or Google wanting to get a piece of the developer pie too. So I don't know. It's very interesting.
I did want to share a couple of my favorite comments from Twitter about this whole saga. I was over posting them on LinkedIn, and I just thought some of them were funny. Pavel Aspar said, if Dario had invented the iPhone, he would have spent the whole keynote talking about how it might blow up in your pocket. I thought that was pretty funny. There was someone that screenshotted, if you search for the word Fable on Google, it says, a short, fictitious story designed to teach a moral lesson. So maybe Anthropic was teaching us all, it was very short-lived, and maybe they were just trying to teach us all a moral lesson. Who knows? There was someone else that said, I can't believe Anthropic comparing their product to nuclear weapons 800 times backfired on them. I am shocked. That's kind of true. Like, they had this huge publicity stunt, this big marketing campaign about how Mythos was like, going to hack the whole world and is too dangerous. And then they're shocked that the government told them they couldn't put it out. But don't worry, we have a solution. Vivo PLT said, don't worry, guys, I got this. And then he has a screenshot of him on Claude saying, build Fable 5, make no mistakes. So evidently that's the solution. He's and okay, then my final thing, I tried to catch like a little bit of a organic bump, and I made a post on LinkedIn about this. I used the same image I used for my last LinkedIn post. I just had ChatGPT regenerate it from a slightly different angle, just seeing if my image was nice. what did so well for it. And my post said, I got 2 Claude Max subscriptions completely free. They say you can't time the market. I disagree. The Claude market is a different beast. Anyways, then I basically told the story of what I was saying to you, how I maxed out my things, except in this post, it's saying how like this was super intentional. I'm just like a strategic genius for knowing to do that. I was, trying to trigger people. I said, this was not luck. Luck is for people who don't model their token burn against macro risks. Anyways, so it's kind of funny. And that post got me 11,000 impressions. So we made, we got some impressions on LinkedIn from that. It was kind of funny. Most people knew this was a joke. When I did the last one about buying 2 MacBook Airs, most people did not know that was a joke and were pretty mad at me for doing that. So anyways, pretty funny.
But apparently, not only if you searched anything with biology, but also if you said the term cybersecurity, the fallback was to Opus as well. Okay. Yet it still got banned. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But if you guys are Claude users or are making things with Claude, again, if you want to check out the AI Hustle School community, you're going to want to be a part of it. We talk about our vibe coding projects every week. Jaeden has launched 2 apps in the App Store recently, so he breaks down all that stuff too. So we'd love to have you be a part of our community. And then also, if you we would love your review or rating wherever you're listening. Those help us out, help us reach more people as well. So that would be wonderful if you could do that. Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you next time.